Stream of consciousness. Let it fly. It is what it is. Fuck YouTube. Free thought. Maybe talking some truth, maybe talking some shit. Opinions that matter, opinions that don't even fucking matter. Well, there's only one way to sum this up. This YouTube channel, it's whatever. And that's the way I like it. Don't be scared. Just fucking build. I bet a lot of you didn't realize that you can actually become addicted to bad news. Yes, you can. I was definitely addicted to it for a very long time. I thought it was just me, but it turns out, nope, it is a psychological phenomenon. So what happens is that our bodies are triggered when we run into bad news because it's important for our survival mechanism to know what's out there that could possibly shorten our lives. It's about self-preservation, you understand? The more bad news that you hear, the more you start looking for more bad news. At first, you don't even realize that you're doing it. You don't. And then you realize that, wait a minute, why do I keep picking up this newspaper that has bad news on the front page every single day? What's wrong with that picture? You see what I mean? Why would I want to wake up, have a good morning, and then grab the daily news and see all of this negativity on the front page? I mean, the daily news is going to do what it does. It makes the front page the most negative part because that's what people are addicted to. You understand? This is serious shit that I'm laying on you here. And the thing is, back in the day, you had to buy a newspaper. Now, it's ubiquitous. It's all over the place. The bad news splash. No, even if you didn't want to be addicted, they're giving you no choice other than to get rid of whatever the application is in your phone that's providing you with this bad news splash. For most people, social media, Facebook, yada, yada, yada. Take your pick. If it's providing you with news, no, under normal circumstances, it's going to feed your bad news addiction. You have to break it. There's so many things that people talk about that's just so deep, and all of these, oh, they're coming to get you, they're right behind you, and they're doing this behind your back and all of this other stuff. But the thing is, what you don't see is a lot more good news on your feed. Why? Because there's so many people addicted to bad news just like I was. I'm giving you this video as a former addict. I'm telling you, I recognize the problem. I see it for what it is, and you're gonna have a very hard time breaking it because it's going to get to the point where you can have a good day and it's just not right that you have a good day. Something must be wrong. Something is around the corner. That's exactly how bad it gets. And I'm gonna do my damnedest to try to help you get away from that. But first, I have to point at the people that's making the problem worse. What I would like to put out with this video is a very widespread problem, even within this new age of independent journalism and news outlets. Unfortunately, I have yet to see any one of these people tell you the absolute truth about the world that we live in. If we take a Russell Brand, for instance, Russell Brand, beloved by millions, he lets you know all the time what's going on when it comes to the deep state and all of the rich people and the things that they can get away with that regular people can't. And even though he has other channels, one dedicated to football, another dedicated to yoga, and even another one that's dedicated to the books that he likes to read, very rarely, if at all, does he ever report on his main channel any of the good things that are going on in the world. That is a big problem. That is exactly what's going on with a lot, if not every single one of the independent news outlets and media outlets that I've seen. Kim Iverson, she is a real deal independent journalist. She's not just calling herself that. She really, really digs and finds some really good information. Her limited series about her trip to Israel, that's something that should be required watching because it lets you know exactly the kind of smoke and mirrors that they're playing out there when it comes to what's really going on. But very rarely does she ever report of anything good that's going on in this world, in this life that we're all living. That is a problem, folks. Because see, if all you hear is bad news. If every single YouTube page or website only talks about your problems or your possible issues, then your conception, your POV of the world is going to be, 1, a bad place, 2, full of problems. And you cannot help but to think of the world that way, because literally it is all you hear about in your media that you consume. You see what I'm saying? So even though the mainstream media has its issues, you're just trading one issue of negativity for another issue. None of these independent media outlets ever have a segment devoted to telling you about the good things that are going on in the world, and there are many. This is why on this particular channel, if you look in the description on every video, I let you know where you can actually go to find good news, goodnews.org. This is an extremely important website. This will show you exactly how many great and wonderful, not just people, but scientific advancements that are going on. But if all you see is going to be, oh, how the rich are going to actually turn everything to this and all that other jazz, you're going to be jaded. What's going to happen is I'm going to show you something that's good that's going on. Let's say it's looking like cancer is going to be cured. And the only thing you're going to think about is how rich people are going to exploit that cure. You understand what I'm saying? You become a cynic. You become somebody that doesn't have any hope in anything good happening. And that's not the way you want to live your life, because it's not the truth. Good things happen every single day. People, do you realize the reason why you're able to walk side by side next to hundreds of people every day is because most human beings believe in being civil. Most human beings generally don't want any problems. It doesn't mean that most human beings are good people. It doesn't mean that. What it does mean is that most people would rather their day be cool with no problems. And that doesn't make anybody a bad person if that's the way you like your day to be. You see what I'm saying? You don't live in the Wild West. It's not a situation where you could step outside and get shot. You don't live that way. The only reason that you have to be a cynic is because of the news that you consume. It's because of the things that you hear, and perhaps the neighborhood that you live in. You could live in a bad neighborhood. You could be raised up in one of the worst neighborhoods. But there's another neighborhood out there. There's a whole world out there that'll let you know that your neighborhood is just one piece of land. The rest of us don't go through this shit that you go through. You know what I mean? That's the truth, folks. That's the truth. If you are an independent journalist, if you are an independent media outlet, you have a responsibility, theoretically, to tell your fellow humans the absolute truth of what's going on in the world. And unfortunately, a lot of these independent journalists have forgotten that good things happen. And you must tell people about the good in this world. You must. Or you're going to slowly erode the social belief in goodness, in kindness. And those of us who seek to balance things out, we dedicate our lives to make sure that that does not come to pass as long as we have anything to say about it. So I just wanted to put this out there, folks. I want you to please find websites like goodnews.org. Again, you can find it right in the description of each and every one of my videos. Expose yourself to the goodness that's going on in this world. Believe in that truth of goodness. Believe that science is not all bad. Science, when it's done well, is just a way to understand the creator or this great universe where we spring from. And it is full of wondrous and amazing things. Don't let these independent journalists or independent news sites and even mainstream media, don't let them turn you into somebody that sees science as something that's terrible and bought and paid for and all of this other jazz, because that's just one side of the coin. There's plenty of people out here who are rich philanthropists and they support scientific research, and they are not bought and paid for by anybody. Instead, they're putting their money where they think that it could be of best use to humankind. And that's what being a philanthropist is really all about. Hope everyone has a good and safe day, and find more good news and consume less of the bad. It's not good for you. Trust me, I grew up with bad news and in a bad neighborhood, and all it's really done is made me scared and paranoid and everything else. And I went through most of my life feeling that way. And then one day I just had to basically see things different because I only saw things one way because of what I lived and what I was exposed to. I didn't see the whole truth. And so I'm trying to let you people know, if you keep watching these news outlets that's only telling you the bad stuff, it's gonna fuck you up. It's gonna take a lot of therapy to get your head right and speaking to the right people. But if you don't have to go through that, I would like to save everybody from feeling what I've felt half my life. Take good care, people. Hey everybody, if you like that video, please consider subscribing to the page. Why not? What's it gonna hurt? Also, I have a graphic novel entitled Isis Omega. You can read the graphic novel for free. All you have to do is go to my website, click on the Isis Omega link, and scroll down, and you will see that there is a link for you to download the entire graphic novel so that you can read it on your phone or on your PC at your leisure. I hope you enjoy what you read, and if you do, let me know. I'm just like anybody else. I like to hear nice things, as long as it's the truth. Take care.